Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball. Now today I'm going to be reviewing episodes 18 and 19 of Dragon Ball Super. That's right, I'm pulling a Blackened Fist today, and my dog is of course peering out of the blanket there. She's very cold, I'm guessing, and I'm wearing my Dragon Ball Z sweatshirt. I know I look kind of homeless, but episode 18 of Dragon Ball Super was very enjoyable for me myself. I can understand why some people maybe won't find it quite as enjoyable as I did, but I had a lot of good laughs in this episode. It starts off with Goku going to Beerus's planet, and on the way there with Whis, he has to pee really badly. But Whis says he can't pee while they're moving. It would be very disrespectful, and he can't pee in his pants either. So the trip continues. They get to the planet. Vegeta's there in an apron, a pink apron, and that's revealed why he's wearing that a little bit later. But he says, you know, I knew you were going to be coming. I figured you'd come sooner or later, Kakarot. And, you know, Goku says, oh, you've changed. You might even be stronger than I am at this point. And the apron makes you look pretty different, too. And we find out that the apron's on because they have to do some stuff with Beerus. And what they have to do with Beerus for the training, as stated by Whis and Vegeta, the training is to get Beerus's sheet covers changed. And this part was very, very enjoyable for me because it almost actually harkened back, and this is kind of a weird comparison, it kind of harkened back to an old episode of SpongeBob that maybe a lot of you have seen, and I've seen as well, where Patrick and SpongeBob are inside Sandy's little globe trying to get her fur when she's hibernating. It felt a little bit like that to me. It's a weird comparison, but I thought I should mention it because I was feeling a bit of that during this episode, so that's kind of another reason why I enjoyed it. I love that episode of SpongeBob, and kind of comparing it to Dragon Ball is very weird, I would say. But they do that, they change his sheets. It's very funny because Beerus grabs on to Goku, and that's another thing that reminded me of that SpongeBob episode. You know, he's pretty much helpless there. Beerus is basically Sandy in this situation, and you know, Goku's pretty much representing SpongeBob and Patrick being pretty much assaulted by Beerus here, and he can't do anything about it. But Vegeta changes his sheets while Beerus is incapacitating Goku while he's still asleep. And that happens. He gets some fish, makes Beerus lower himself back down on the blankets, the sheets. They got him changed. It was weird to see Dragon Ball do something like this, but I really enjoyed it, and I actually was laughing out loud at a couple of points here. And like I said, I can understand why some people wouldn't like that, because it's not exactly the usual fare of Dragon Ball comedy, so I can completely understand if you don't find it funny, but I myself enjoyed it. Maybe some of you guys did as well. I'm sure there's definitely some people out there that enjoyed it. Then Vegeta, you know, he reveals that that was not training. Those were actually just chores, daily housework that they have to do. And then he reveals, like, oh, we have to trim the yard here, and we have to clean the Oracle Fish's globes and stuff. So that was very interesting, and they have to do that pretty much every day, it seems like, at this point. When we get to the actual training, they have to lift these metal weights with their forearms. They have to lock them around their forearms, lift them, and they couldn't do it. When they did finally do it, they both did it about the same time. Vegeta's weights were stated to be double of what they were before. It's unclear, and if they're, you know, I don't think they mentioned if it was stronger than Goku's weights or not. Most likely is Vegeta's probably stronger than Goku at this very point specifically. Once they pick him up, Whis is like, okay, now take those and run a whole lap around the planet. So they have to do that while, in classical video game fashion, I guess you could say, the platforms behind them are disappearing, and if they fall, it'll be into a great eternal abyss, basically, that they'll never stop falling from. So that was awesome, and you know, they keep running. They're obviously barely making it out of this, you know, without falling, and then they get transported to Beerus's bedroom, I guess you could say, and then get blasted by Beerus and barely survive that. And I guess that's all part of Whis' training. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but that's pretty much all that happened in this episode. You know, just explained upon his training. Later in the episode, it showed a little bit of the training they did in Resurrection F film, you know, stating their weaknesses, stuff like that. There wasn't too much different near the end, but I really enjoyed episode 18. As far as episode 19 goes, honestly, I can't say a whole lot about it. basically episode 19, it was still fun to watch, but it's kind of like that Battle of Gods arc syndrome that we got. It really wasn't much different than what we saw in Resurrection F. It's just the start of Resurrection F. You know, Sorbet and the rest of the Frieza squad that is in that ship are basically going to look for Frieza, same as exactly what we saw in Resurrection F. Nothing really different happened in that episode. We see that Piccolo's playing peekaboo with Pan, which was kind of funny, actually. A little bit weird, but kind of funny. The Peel-Off gang gets a little bit more time on screen. They just basically kind of fluff it up. There's nothing really new going on. Instead of having 2 wishes with Shenron, they have 3 here. You know, obviously they revive Frieza. Shu, wants the 1 million Zenny, and Mai actually orders the best ice cream available. And that's really, honestly, all that happens in that episode. Frieza gets revived at the end, and that's about it. One interesting thing to note is that Togoma does not really seem to really care much about Frieza, nor really respect him, because he never really knew Frieza. He just saw him, and he's like, oh, he's not really too big of a deal or anything like that. So that was interesting. But yeah, I really enjoyed both episodes. I think 18 was definitely a stronger episode. Also in episode 18, Champa and Vados were briefly introduced at the end of the episode. They had a couple of lines of dialogue, but not a whole lot happened. The only thing I could say before I end this off, even though I barely even talked about episode 19, but what I want to say is it looks like my predictions that I made a couple weeks, it might have actually been even a month or more ago, about Vegeta achieving the God powers without any use of the ritual. It looks like it's actually coming true. He can sense God Ki in episode 18. And I really don't think he's going to be going Super Saiyan God. He's just going to go Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. That's what I think is going to happen. What do you guys think of that right there? Let me know in the comment section down below. But other than that, not much else to say. Let me know what you guys thought of episode 18 and 19. But like I said, not much else to say. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll catch you later.